Well, hello there and happy Friday to all of my Cancers. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading, Cancers. All right, so Cancers, this is going to take us from Friday to Friday. Happy Friday to each and every one of you all. Fridays connect us with Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics. That's right. And the color green. Okay. So while Mercury is retrograde, I want you all to really start getting into learning. When Mercury is retrograde, put it on your calendar. When you want to learn something new when Mercury is retrograde, okay? Put it on your calendar that you want to learn something new when Mercury is retrograde. This is the third time this year Mercury would be retrograde, but you're never too old to learn. I don't care how many degrees you have, you're never too old to learn. Learn something new. Like, keep your mind fresh, open to learning something new. Mercury is a personal planet. And as you're going through these phases and cycles, you have 8 major moon phases within one cycle, and a cycle 29 and a half days. You're learning something new. This is an opportunity to strengthen your psychic gifts. Psychic gifts are like best practices. Like, think about it like if you worked on projects at work, and you, after the project is over, you say, okay, what did I learn about myself? You could sit in a circle of people and say, this one over here, they took off too many times. They had too many emergencies. They were the weak link in the chain. You can sit there and point at everybody else and say everybody else was the reason why the project went well or it didn't. Or you can look at yourself, right? And say, what could I have done in the project, right? To make it successful. What could I have done to make the project successful, right? To rise to the occasion in the situation. And that really is answering the call on your life, because you're about to put an end to any kind of speculation about your gifts. You're about to put an end to it. You're not trying to be a part of something that would have rejected you early on, or rejected your family or kids or whomever. You are operating in purpose. You are operating in purpose, okay? Obviously, you all are ruled by the moon. The moon and the sun, you see here, never go retrograde. Sun and moon never go retrograde, right? So on Fridays, think of it this way. On Fridays, you can almost expect, like clockwork, Thursday night, that somebody is gearing up. You either going to have a dream or some kind of download about somebody that you love, right? Somebody that's attracted to your energy. The only reason you kind of really notice it around Mercury retrograde is because you slow down, right? If you're intentional about slowing down, you'll start to notice it around Mercury retrograde. Remember, I teach the light side of about the moon, so you can land on the light side of your emotions, so that you're not practicing dark moon magic. Part of the reason why people go into the dark arts just in general, because they feel like they've been duped or taken advantage of, or they feel like, okay, I'm behind in this area, and they decide, okay, they want to practice some kind of darkness. I don't recommend that at all. Just period. That's not what this channel is about. That's why the people join dark organizations. They enter into covenants with dark entities, all of that, because they feel like they've been left out of something, and what's the quickest way to get in? Okay, dark, whatever, practicing some kind of darkness. But something has come to light, right? And somebody is overwhelmed because they were an open book, possibly about you, right? And somebody lied to them behind your back and said that you were leaving them behind and you weren't coming back, which is a bold-faced, underlined, italicized lie, right? But it awakened your high priestess gifts. And this was somebody in your family that did something to someone in your family, that you were leaving them behind. It could have been your kids. So let's say if you're a father, somebody could have told your son that. If you're a mother, somebody could have told your daughter that. If you're a mentor, somebody could have told a mentee that. Some kind of lie was told to a younger person about you. Even if you're a bonus parent, that you didn't really care about them. Something was overwhelming for someone, right? People know that's a bold-faced lie. Okay, let's just call it a spade a spade. It's a lie, right? So bottom line is Things are starting to flow to you right now. You're unapologetic about the call on your life that you've answered. You may have first asked, what was the purpose? What is the purpose of lying about you behind your back? Because they couldn't say it to your face. That's why, right? You don't have to ever choose violence. I mean, unless you're protecting yourself, unless you're defending yourself, you're out in the wilderness, a lion comes trying to attack you. I mean, you can't outrun a lion. You could try it if you want to, except you will remember as a cat, right? You can try to outrun a lion if you want to. Let's see how that goes. You'll be in the upper room. But try not, if you can choose not to use violence, try not to, right? But like I said, there may be times that you have to defend yourself, but if you can speak up, that's a way of communicating. And sometimes you don't have to say anything. It'll expose itself. Certain things will expose itself. Because again, you're a receiving zodiac sign. I'm talking to men and women. You're a receiving zodiac sign. So looking at your cards here. Yep. Start packing your new dream home is loading. Nice. This is the intention that we're setting here. Start packing your new dream home is loading. Right now we have 5 planets that are retrograde. Currently retrograde, right? Currently retrograde. Obviously the sun and moon never go retrograde, but those are not planets. They're luminaries. So if somebody calls it a planet, you don't have to try to correct them. They're just, the saying, sun and moon, but they're not. They're luminaries. Mercury is retrograde right now. I want to say until the 29th of November. Yeah, when the moon will be in Pisces. And so when the moon, Pisces rules the 12th house. So that's where your third eye will be open. Just FYI for somebody who wants to take notes, third eye open, during that time, because it'll move into Aries. So maybe at the end of November 29th, you say, okay, I got the message I needed to get. I can go ahead and move on. I can walk on into this next phase. I can close out this phase successfully and I can move on, right? Intentionally on the light side of my emotions and move on, right? Uranus is also retrograde. Uranus is a collective planet, the force of enlightenment and sudden change. Chiron is retrograde. That's the wounded healer that bridges the social and collective planets. Saturn is retrograde. That's a social planet, like Jupiter is a social planet, but Jupiter is not retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. It's a principle of contraction, structure, and boundaries. Obviously, we know that, Mercury is retrograde. Is how we think, learn, and communicate. It is a personal planet. So those are things. High priestess, right? High priestess. So somebody is putting an end to something that's just been kind of sort of overwhelming you're putting an end to something that's been overwhelming for a younger person, so that they can take a leap of faith. A fire can be put up under them. They can take a leap of faith and leave and never come back. So you're inspiring the younger generation out here, because somebody, let somebody get all the way to this door and still made them feel worthless, like they weren't worthy enough of being a part of something. And as nurturing as you all are, that put a fire up under you to start speaking up, like taking some kind of action. Yeah, taking some kind of action and just kind of sort of speaking up. So whether it made you angry or whatever emotion, right? You're an emotional zodiac sign. Water signs are emotional. Whatever emotion. But rising through inner tides here is your reading, right? So again, this is going to take us from Friday to Friday. It's going to put us into the new moon phase. We have a new moon on the 20th, new moon in Sagittarius, but this is going to take us to the 21st of November, okay? So it's going to put us into the new moon phase. So this week or the next 7 days, you're going to step into a cycle of emotional renewal, intuitive clarity, and inner empowerment. So this inspirational reading explores what you're releasing, what's opening for you, and the spiritual energies guiding your path. It includes candle colors. I'm going to share with you all gemstones, gemstone allies, herbs for ritual work, and powerful affirmations for you, right? Remember, not practicing any dark arts at all. I don't even support that mess. So the reason why people do that, even if you feel like you're behind in learning, just practice. Like when you say, okay, when Mercury is retrograde, this is the time you say, let me put it on my calendar. If you want to take a new class, there's plenty of free courses online. That's the beautiful thing about the internet. YouTube, if you say, okay, I want to learn how to start a YouTube channel, whatever it is, whether it's DIYs, learning how to, if you're a person who want to learn how to make wigs or, learn how to cook, whatever it is you want to learn how to do, try to discipline yourself to say, okay, Mercury, when it's retrograde, for instance, Mercury went retrograde on the 9th, right? So for those 20 days from the 9th to the 29th, I'm going to discipline myself. Let's say you want to learn how to do nails, for instance, right? Let me look on YouTube and see who's teaching how to do nails, right? For 20 days, I'm going to just study that. Let's just say if that's something you want to learn how to do. Or let's say you wanted to learn how to use Chat GPT. For 20 days, I'm going to make it a point to carve out a couple of hours a day during Mercury retrograde. I'm shutting down my calendar or blocking off this period of time. If you start disciplining yourself, because this will be the third time that Mercury went retrograde this year. Okay, so let's get into your reading. So start packing. Your new dream home is loading. So current energy here is the High Priestess. You are deeply intuitive this week. Your inner knowing is louder than any external noise. An affirmation for you is, I trust the messages of my inner waters. Okay, right? See this dark and light here? You've gone through an initiation process already, right? From source, from the creator, right? That's your higher power, is source. Not human, is source, okay? What supports you is Queen of Cups. Emotional intelligence and empathy strengthen you. Your softness is your power, right? And this is what I keep trying to tell Cancer. You all are sweethearts. Y'all are going to start seeing a lot of people who thought, their bitterness and their anger and their hatred was the way to win, like they didn't have any emotions. Like literally they forgot that their bodies are made up of a large percentage of water. Like it's just now clicking for some people. Like, okay, what do you think that was? Right? So you're pouring into yourself now like never before. You're drinking more water. You're spending more time nurturing yourselves. This is why you're saying, okay, that's what all those tears were for. You weren't crying. You were crying for them. Like, okay, these people, what? Child, anyway. Yeah, so that's why you're keeping people out of your door. You're closing this airtight. What you're leaving behind is Five of Pentacles. Feelings of lack or abandonment dissolve as you recognize how supported you truly are. Affirmation for you is, I release every belief that tells me I'm alone. Because you're not. You're really not. All of these people that thought that you had to be hard and you had to be rigid and you had to be mean-spirited and all of that other stuff in order to be successful, that was a lie straight from the pit of hell. Just look at you, the sun. What you're moving towards is the sun. Warmth, success, and personal radiance are coming into your life. A joyful breakthrough is unfolding. So affirmation for you is, joy flows to me and through me effortlessly. There it is. This is what I talk about, operating in your purpose. All of these people that was like, oh, can't sit next to me, mean girl, mean guy spirit, that kind of thing. They were mean towards you, mean towards your kids. But you already when you experience this when you're younger, it doesn't even move you when you're older. You just laugh at people okay, you can already tell what you're dealing with. Low self-esteem, right? So here we have emotional landscape. New emotional cycles, healing, and self-love bloom. Love, whether it's romantic or spiritual, is renewing. So an affirmation for you is, my heart welcomes fresh beginnings. But it also creates something in you as a new level of compassion for these energies too. You see how low they feel, right? They try to joke and play it off, like, oh no, I was just playing, while they're spewing that hatred and that ignorance towards other people, hurting other people and their kids, doing this mean-spirited stuff. And then, oh, I was just joking, I was just playing. But you also have compassion while you're protecting your energy, while you are protecting your own energy, right? So here we have the Page of Swords here. Mental landscape. Your mind is alert, curious, and ready to learn. New ideas spark your next steps. So an affirmation for you is, I think clearly, truthfully, and courageously. Yeah, you're an open book. You are an open book. Yeah, something about your gifts are overwhelming. Your spiritual message, the moon, your intuition heightens. Pay attention to dreams, symbol, and subtle energies. An affirmation for you is, I honor the unseen path unfolding before me. Something you must have said because you were an open book is so overwhelming for somebody. It's like they are drowning in guilt. For real. They are literally, they can't even believe you said something. Like, how the heck? I'm serious. Somebody right now is looking around like an owl. Like, okay, how their head turn all the way around like this? They looking around. They literally doing a 360 upside. They looking up on the ceiling, down on the floor. They looking around, seeing if they got microphones in their house. They looking around trying to check. If somebody in their house, they like looking through stuff, like almost like they're paranoid because they cannot believe how powerful your gifts are. But they shut out airtight for what they did because you hold the key. You hold the key. You hold the key. You're genuinely a compassionate person. You weren't faking compassion. You weren't trying to mirror someone else's compassion. This is for real. You can't fake that. You can't fake it. They would have to literally do a complete and total detox. Like they would have to empty themselves out. They would have to completely do a detox. But they're not willing to do that because that's not their love language. Their love language is money. That's it. That's all their love language is. Everything for them is a transaction. If you gave them enough money and told them, hey, look, go sacrifice whoever. They'll do whoever. It won't matter who they are. Well, you would say, are you crazy? You have got to be kidding, right? Not them. They'd be like, okay, how much again? Like, wouldn't even bat an eyelash. And so Source is saying something about this, something about that is, they've been contaminated for so long. They've been contaminated. That's why I said somebody needs to be out in the sunlight and like really like get a deep spiritual cleansing. That's why I talk about getting out in the sunlight. Somebody needs a deep spiritual cleansing because they've been contaminated so long with so many dark secrets. They've been around so many people in their auric layer. Yeah. Deep spiritual cleansing, right? So you choose what side you're on. You either go darker or you start enlightening people how to come out of a dark space, right? And so that's why your gifts are so strong because, and that's why somebody's looking up now. They drowning. I'm telling y'all, they can't believe it. they cannot. They sitting somewhere like, oh my God, what in the world? So yeah, so emotional landscape for you is this. New emotional cycles, healing, and self-love bloom. Like I said, whether it's romantic or spiritual. And by the way, so on Thursday night, you start thinking about, some of you all had dreams about loved ones, right? This is a different kind of love. Platonic, about loved ones, right? Not just because it's the holidays, because Thursday prepares us for Friday, obviously, right? Friday connects us with Venus, connects us with love in all forms, art, music, aesthetics. So anything could trigger it, right? But also because it's a feminine planet, Venus is, it also connects you with people who are connected to your past and start reminding you of people who are secretly connected to your past who are also overwhelmed by your gifts. Because you're a high priestess energy and people really want to see they're connected, they want to connect to your star, they secretly want you back. Some people from your past secretly want you back. And the fact that you're an open book and you have this youthful energy, some energies see you're expanding and that you're not coming back. They want to stay connected to you by any means necessary. But that's going to be in the spirit of Bishop Bullwinkle. Hell to the no, no, no. Y'all, then you're not coming back. You ain't going back. You're not turning around. They have no chance. None. None. That's airtight, closed out. No, that's a no. So yeah. So something has come to light. So somebody, the people who halfway believe some things about you, hey, they can keep that same energy for real. You making room for what's moving forward and not going back. They can believe what they want to believe. Like y'all letting whoever believe whatever. It's something closed out, airtight. No, you hold the key. You hold the key. So somebody decided to bully somebody because they felt like you bullied them. They tried to mirror some kind of energy, but they're not you. You're genuinely a compassionate person. In other words, just so we're crystal clear, whether it was your job, whether it was in your personal or your professional life, what they decided to do is 5 and 8 would be 6, right? What somebody decided to do is really clock your schedule, right? 6th house, Virgo. We're not necessarily talking about a Virgo, but somebody was very meticulous in clocking your schedule, yours and someone else's, right? When you come and go, when you come out, when you leave your house, when you come back into your house and all of that. Do you leave out during the day? Do you go out at night? Wanted to see if you were an open book, like sitting there studying every little thing, jotting down notes, every little thing, doing stuff, secretly doing stuff behind your back, right? But see, the part was missing here. They were mirroring compassion. They did not actually have compassion. That's the difference between you and them. You actually have compassion. They were mirroring that, right? Cloaking in other people's energy, playing all these stupid dark magic games. You don't have time for stupidity, all right? So you already saw. That's why somebody is so overwhelmed, right? They can't even, when I tell y'all they can't believe, this is the I believe. That's why I keep using the word believe, because this is the I believe zodiac side. They cannot believe what you're saying, whatever platform you're on. They can't believe it. That you have switched tables. You have switched tables because you don't need to use dark magic. That stuff always comes back to bite you. You don't need to use it. You just need to discipline yourself. You don't need to use it. Somebody is expanding. Right? But what you're dealing with somebody who wants things to happen fast for them. They want it to happen fast. They want stuff to just happen fast, right? And not necessarily walking by faith, right? So this right here is a spirit. This right here, 3 and it's not 3 and 9, is a spirit. You can either choose the spirit of darkness or light. They chose the side. They chose the dark side. Remember in January, we had a full moon in Cancer. If y'all remember, we had a full moon in Cancer and it was a wolf moon. And wolves run in packs. The pack of people they were running with was in the dark side of things. The pack of people you run with is in the light, enlightening people. There's a difference. They chose the darkness. And they chose to keep you in the dark. So they made a choice. And so the same one, there's no honor amongst these energies over here. None. So the same energies they chose, they try to keep you in the dark. They're sitting out here now like, oh man, I wish I could be a part of such and such, right? They're asking now, what's the purpose? What was the purpose of all of that? Why now, I get all the way here, and then all of a sudden, like, what was the whole purpose of all of this? Why, right? Sources say, and now all these people turn their backs. Right. Now somebody is speaking up. Now someone is speaking up. Right. So source is saying to you, because somebody did not know what their purpose was. Somebody did not know what their purpose was. You can have a lot of gifts and talents. We have the 10 of Cups here. Somebody has a lot of gifts and talents, right? Music, I'm seeing a music note here. You could have a lot of gifts and talents. We talk about variety. This is sacral chakra, which speaks to variety. Basic need for this is variety, right? You could be a musician. You could be a singer. You could be an artist, like a painter. You could have a variety of gifts and talents, right? that give you joy, give other people joy. But it may not be the call on your life that you're answering, the call on your life, whatever you're called to do. Your call on your life is so overwhelming for people that you're not running from your calling in life, right? You're not afraid of people, in that if it's a variety of these things you could walk away from. You may be known for some of these things. Like, let's say, for instance, you play the saxophone. That's a good one gift. Let's say you can play the saxophone very well, right? And so you're standing for somebody. Like, let's say you go somewhere and somebody's like, oh my God, a saxophone player, got stuck in traffic. And this is a big gig for us or whatever. You just happen to be there. It's not a happen to be there. It's not even by coincidence. You're there for a reason, right? Okay, you play, you looking around, you're like, You happen to be walking to the bathroom. You're not happening to be walking to the bathroom. It's not even by coincidence, right? Oh. And so you just happen to be there, but it's not a happen to be. It's not even by coincidence, right? And somebody's like, oh my God, you just happen to hear somebody say, oh my God, a saxophone player is stuck in traffic and we got this big thing and a lot is riding on it. We got people in the audience, blah, 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 blah. You just happen to have a whole bunch of songs memorized in your brain because you just love music like that, right? I'm looking at this music note, right? Again, that may not be your calling, but it could be something that you really just know how to do because you've been playing saxophone since you were maybe in middle school or junior high school. So you're like, okay, all right. Let's say you just happen to have some reeds in your pocket, right? If you know. Okay, you clean the thing off. Okay, somebody got something or got a saxophone. All right. Okay, what songs y'all playing? What's the list? What key? All right. And you there. Anyway, Source is trying to help somebody understand like the difference between your career and your vocation. Like trying to help you to understand the difference between, like the two, like what you were called to do and just like kind of sort of what you. And so somebody is like really an open book, right? But you don't have certain things you can take it or leave it. Like for real, you can take it or leave it. Somebody's been doing. This is what makes somebody a star. Like you're a person. Like you're hidden among stars. You're hidden among stars. It's like okay, and you have all of these gifts. Somebody's operating in their north node. You're in your north node. This right here, your 10th house. You're in your 10th house, right? So whatever it is, and that's what's coming to light. That's what's coming to light. Like, you've been bullied. It's like you walk the path. You know when people have actually been bullied. It's like, okay, don't push you to that point, not because you're going to do it back to somebody. It's like, okay, you're almost like you're pushing somebody's gifts out of them. Like, okay, I'm going to show you. That's what you're basically saying. It's like you're going to show them your gifts. You're not violent. You're showing them your gifts. Like, okay, you can really read like the reed of a microphone. I mean, reed of a saxophone or like a woodwind instrument. You got reeds, right? So something is, like I said, something has come out of you that people are like, okay, wow, we had no idea how powerful, whoever you are, your gifts are, how powerful your gifts are. But the door to them is closed. The door to them is closed because of just how they are. I mean, just, they don't, whoever did, these are your family, by the way. They operate in hate. They literally, that's what a fire is. They're on the dark side of fire. They're on the dark side of fire, right? In terms of the significance. They want to be significant, but it's the way that they do it, right? They really, really do need some topaz, some citrine, and tiger's eye. And I do sell all of those, by the way. I do sell all three of them, they really need to sit down and drink some ginger tea and some peppermint tea, right? Because too much wanting of power and identity going on here. They're too much of wanting to be significant. But what's happening is that they're causing people digestive issues, kidney and liver problems, food allergies, rage, timidity, diabetes, ulcers, chronic fatigue, narcissism, and low self-esteem. They just causing too many issues and problems. So no, you don't want to have anything to do with them. So you have companionship coming your way. So giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. You have a memory like an elephant. You and somebody has a memory like an elephant. You remember how they treat you. So no, you don't want that in your house. They talking about, smiling like James Evans on Good Times. You're like, don't even get me started. Look, you don't want that mess in your house. They want to come to you smiling and talk, oh, we were just playing, we were just playing. You know how we used to play when we was kids? No, like when y'all were kids. But they don't play with your kids like this, or your mentees or your students like this, because you didn't raise them like that. But you want to play? Oh, we can take it back to childhood. You want to do that? Because, I got some stuff for you. But see, the conversation is going to be different this time. Yeah, so confidence. See, your family members, see the difference between the third house and the ninth house? See, when you kids and you, like when you playing the dozens when you kids, it's different. When y'all playing the dozens, or when y'all joning on each other, or y'all teasing each other, going back and forth when you kids, you're learning, you're kind of sort of in training when you're kids. You're teasing, oh, you look like this, or you look like that, or you look like this and you look like that. Oh, nah, you didn't graduate. You got your PhD in reading somebody. Oh, they don't want the you today. Because you ain't stopping. You got a whole platform. Just how they made your kids or your mentees or whatever. See, all of a sudden you the mean one. Yeah, now you the one. What do you need to release? Now you the one cold as ice. They don't want it. So let's keep it cute. Because you can take it from childhood all the way up to adulthood. And because of your gifts. They really don't. So start packing. Your new dream home is loading. So no, you're not cold-spirited at all. You are filled with compassion. But they show no compassion towards somebody, who really needed their compassion, who's been always feeling like they left out on the outside. Because when you experience this on the outside, whether you was on the outside of parenting, whether you were on the outside of an organization, fraternity, sorority, some other kind of organization, a church or mosque or temple, whether they wouldn't let you into some kind of social club or group, or you got passed over for a position or a job, or that you weren't, you were the only woman in an office group where traditionally men got the job and women didn't, or you was the only man where women traditionally got the position and women or men didn't, or you were in an industry where you were the first woman or the first man. So everybody has been this. Literally every human being has been on the outside of something, right? That was their moment to shine, to do the right thing by you. Now they want to play. Oh, see, they better be glad. Child, they better be glad. They better be glad. They better be glad that you're mature and that you answer the call in your life. Your ex was on some kind of an assignment. So relax. Child, they better be glad you... your family better be glad you answered the call in your life, because when I tell y'all, more money is coming soon. They would be in tears, and I'm talking about in tears, if you really start going in. I see booked and busy, not burdened and bitter. There are signs all around you. You are an answered prayer. Yeah. Woo. Woo. It's time to look, it's time to expand your brand. It's time to expand your brand. Your family don't understand. They don't understand. They don't understand. They better get some understanding. Wherever they went to get some understanding before, they better go back. They better go back. Because you got a lot of gifts and talents. Whew. Because you talking about putting on a show. Child, I ain't seen a show. It's so woo. I was thinking about this person that I went to middle school with, like it was actually junior high school with, and that was teased. But when I tell you this person, we say reading for filth now, but or some people, like I say playing the dozen, some people call joning, some people call teasing, whatever. He was so good at it. He was so good at it. He would literally have the whole class. He could probably do, I don't know where he is now today, but that little kid was a stand-up comedian. He was a little kid. Obviously, we were all kids, but he definitely could probably be a stand-up comedian today. He was so funny. I mean, just so funny. And just like, he was like one of those kids that if you even thought about trying it, you wouldn't try it again. Like you just wouldn't try it again. So somebody has made a decision. Somebody has made a decision. Some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path. Yeah. People know. Like your family already know that, it's, they tried it with, like I said, somebody who they felt like had low self-esteem, but they won't try that with you because you gonna come out, when I tell you, you're gonna come out and unload on them verbally in something fierce. And I mean, everybody catching it. Everybody, them, their parents, you leaving the kids out because that's not your, but them, their parents, all of them, all of them, their spouse, whoever, whatever can get it. So, yeah, they have a demon. They have a Leviathan spirit. They envy the fact that you got so many gifts and talents. So they thought they want to take it out on a weaker. But see, y'all keep it high. Keep it high vibrational. You expanding. Keep it high vibrational. Keep it high vibrational. Just keep that type of energy out of your house. You've ascended higher. You have ascended, okay? You have ascended. You're a part of the Ascended Masters crew. You've ascended higher. You don't need to take it there. That's right. You're on a frequency of love. That's what the frequency that you want. Because I'm telling y'all, whew, these family members, they know which one to play with. Because see, you going big. You go big, or you going home. This ain't no playing small. This like you coming in the door at a big family function. Like you be the one that's gonna ask who all is gonna be over there. Who all is gonna be there? Because you waiting for the audience to come, right? That's when you gonna read them for filth in front of everybody. Everybody. Let's go word for word. Me versus you. Let's go word for word. And you ain't stopping. You ain't stopping. So no, you different. You've ascended. You've answered the call in your life. So you don't need to go there. You don't need to be around them. You don't need to be around them at all. They want to do anything in their power to link up with you. Give it no air. None. None at all. Just none. So step out of your comfort zone. There it is, North Node. They already see, all they need to do is look in the mirror. That's all they need. Look in the mirror. That's it. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. And let me give you some gemstones and crystals that you can focus on. Gemstones and crystals for you can focus on. So the outcome for you all is the emotional fulfillment, harmony, meaningful connections, and spiritual alignment. I am surrounded by love, support, and divine alignment. So the candles, which I also sell candles too, is white, silver, and blue. So white candles are for cleansing, clarity, and emotional balance. Silver candles are for intuition and lunar connection, and then blue candles are for healing, calm, and emotional protection. And by the way, it's not your entire family. It's just always the select. There's always a select part of people, everybody's family, who has low self-esteem, and instead of them taking themselves to therapy and really getting some help for how other people made them feel. And it's probably other people in the family, a core people in their family that made them feel a certain way because of an outer appearance. Instead of them getting help for that and cutting that core energy off and just loving them from afar, which also speaks in volume, speaking of Mercury, they choose to project that energy onto who they feel like are the weaker of the ones. But I'm telling you, it's something about trying to come up against you. The best thing you can do for them is to cut them off. That's the best thing you can do, is really, really cut them off. Because if you vibrate on that frequency, or that low frequency, your water is reflective. You can give just as good as you can get. But the difference is that you're so incredibly gifted and talented. It really would overwhelm them. And people would think that you were cold as ice. And you're really not that person, right? You are genuinely a compassionate person. So don't even give them that. Don't even give them that energy. All they need to do is look in the mirror. They can see it. Here we have herbs and botanicals for your ritual or your meditation. Chamomile, which you probably have chamomile tea right in your cabinet, right? That's for emotional soothing. Mugwort is dream clarity and intuition. Lavender for peace and spiritual protection. Jasmine would be for heart expansion and divine feminine energy, right? So use as teas, incense, baths, or altar offerings there. And so your overall weekly affirmation for you all Cancers could be: I am aligned, protected, and guided. My intuition flows like water and carries me exactly where I belong. Exactly where I belong. Yeah. Yep. So, yep, where I belong. Yeah. So, and when I say look in the mirror, I'm not even just talking about a physical appearance. I'm just talking about their spirit, the spirit of just darkness just all over them. They can't, it just, y'all don't even give it, don't, like I said, leave that on the outside of your door. Just close it airtight. You don't even want to be connected to that. That's going to kill the dark magic. That's going to send it back. Immediate return to sender. Block their number, block all access to you. Just return to sender. They want to be in that shady, messy, living, secret life. You live your life out loud. You're not trying to hide anything. That's them. Just keep that away from you. That's what I have for you. Bye.